Welcome agents, the Division 2 officially launched today, but like some of you, I purchased the Gold Edition, meaning I've been able to play over the last 3 days. In that very short period of time, lots of secrets have been found. Today I want to show you all 10 Hunter masks that have been found so far, and how you will summon the events, along with the new exotic pistol, and also I want to show you what a level 450 gear score character will look like. If you enjoy this video and find it helpful, please drop a like and subscribe for dedicated Division content. And with that said, let's do this. Okay, so let's start off with the 10 Hunter masks that have been found so far. If you never played the Division and this is your first time, Hunters are a unique faction introduced to the Division world during the Survival DLC and were by far the hardest enemy to defeat, with advanced AI skills and a pretty nasty habit of spawning on you with an axe to the back. In the Division 2, Hunters are back, but this time they require certain conditions to be met before they will summon into the world, so let's get started on how you do this. The first one you can do is here on the map at the Pavilion Cafe. So you want to head on over to this small park where there will be a Christmas tree in the middle surrounded by lights. You want to head into the pavilion, and on the side of the counter will be a lever you will need to interact with. Once you've done this, head back out to the Christmas tree, which will turn on, and 4 hunters will spawn out of the tree. Now, some people report standing next to the tree to summon the hunters, whilst others, myself included, ran around the tree a couple of times. Killing all 4 hunters will reward you with the Diamond, Cross, Phantom, and Death masks. Next up is the Demon mask. This can be acquired by defeating the hunter located here. You need to head inside the center of the building where you will see targets inside multiple windows. You will need to shoot them from top left to bottom right, and this will spawn the next hunter. Moving on, and you will need to head here. It's important you take the bottom tunnel, not the other 2. Once there, climb down the ladder and turn left, just as you can see on screen. Go over to the laptop and you will need to interact with it. Now, I've already done this, but where I'm shooting, a light will shine showing the location of the next hunter. It will be a little X with a little moon symbol, and that's just to tell you that the hunter will only spawn at nighttime. From here, you go back to the surface and head here, right on top of the shade cache. Here you will see a little camping, little camping area with a swinging light bulb. Wait around until night and this will start flickering. Shoot the light and voila, the hunter will spawn. And this will net you the Ghoul mask. Next up, and we have the Crimson mask. To get this, you want to head here. Once there, you will find 2 buildings separated by a courtyard. Head into the north building and interact with the walkie-talkie. Then run to the south building and interact with the phone. The hunter will spawn in the courtyard and it will award you the Crimson mask upon completion. Next up, we probably have the hardest one I found, and it's worth noting that the hunters can only be summoned here if you completed the Potomac Event Center mission. So for this, you want to head here. Once inside, you want to get into this lovely pool. Face the numbers on the side of the pool and do jumping jacks to spawn the hunters that will spawn above you. There's 2 of them. Take them down to be awarded the Midas and Revenant mask. Last but not least is the Wraith mask, which I have not got myself yet. To get this, you want to head here where you'll find a memorial. You will need to shoot the light out when it's dark and stand facing the memorial and salute. Some people reported the hunter spawning the first time. Others have reported many attempts, up to 6 times. So just keep saluting until it works. So that's how you get the 10 hunter masks. And there's actually 12 to collect, so there's only 2 more to go which haven't been found yet, I believe. It's worth noting that all of them have to be done at night, except, I believe, for the Crimson mask and the Demon mask. I have to say, these little secret things you need to do is a whole lot of fun, and my hope is that they add more with more unique designs, and I think they probably will. As of right now, all the masks are standard or green quality, and I do think that's significant. I think that means we may actually get high-end or even exotic masks added at some point. Now, before we move on, it's worth me saying that the hunters are actually fairly difficult to beat, if you're not geared up, that is. All of the hunters I took down was with a gear score over 400, so just bear that in mind. Just before we move on, when you kill a hunter, there is a chance for them to drop an ivory key, and you will need 8 in order to open a crate within the White House for an exclusive reward. Now, I'm not going to show or tell you what it is because it will spoil the fun, but it looks awesome. And you can easily just find it just by searching on the web. So if you really want to see what it looks like, do that. If you don't, then just get those ivory keys and you won't be disappointed. Moving on, and do you remember the exotic material you collected during the Capitol Hill mission? Well, this does have a purpose, and it's one of the parts required to unlock Kendra's Liberty, an exotic deagle with pretty amazing talent. Now once you've completed Capitol Hill, you will need to complete the following missions on hard or challenging difficulty: American History Museum, Viewpoint, and Space Administration HQ. Now once you've completed all of these, it will unlock this awesome deagle, and here you can see the crafting cost. Now what makes this weapon so cool is the amazing talents it has, so let's take a look at them. First we have Liberty, which reads, gain plus 100% damage to hostile electronics. While aiming, enemy weak points and hostile electronics are highlighted. The next talent is Justice, which reads, after destroying an enemy's weak point or hostile electronics, your next bullet deals plus 500% weapon damage. That is crazy. If that shot kills an enemy, your magazine is refilled and grants plus 100% weapon damage for the entire magazine. Lastly, we have Independence, which reads, while holstered, destroying weak points refills 20% of your current weapons magazine. Now these three talents all work in unison, and when procced, that deagle will do some pretty nasty damage. 100% increased weapon damage for a whole mag after you destroy an enemy weak point and then get a kill with the next bullet. That sounds great. I don't actually have this deagle myself yet, but I will get it shortly, and I cannot wait to try this thing out. Last but not least, guys, I just wanted to show you what a level 450 character might look like. Right, so this is a level 450 gear score character. I can actually make it a little bit higher if I wanted to, but I like where this is currently, although I've not really looked into talent stats, that sort of thing. So the weapon of choice at the moment is this custom P416G3. Now in my opinion, the P416 is probably the best assault rifle in the game, at least from what I've been able to use. It's really accurate, it's really stable more than anything, and it does a whole lot of damage, although it has got a pretty low RPM. Now modded wise, what I'm doing with these is because I've been using this for PvE purposes, I'm making sure that I've got an extended mag on it. And with this one, you do get that plus 30 rounds, but you get that decreased rate of fire. And I'm not going to talk about the positives and negatives of these mods, maybe another video, but I still do think they need to be changed a little bit. Now the talents on this particular one, again, I've not recalibrated anything. This is simply what it comes with. But Measured is one of my favourite talents of all. As you can see here, it says the top half of the magazine has plus 15% rate of fire and minus 20% weapon damage. The bottom half of the magazine has minus 25% rate of fire and plus 20% weapon damage. It's actually a pretty cool talent. This has got weapon handling on here as well. We've optimized. We've also got double duty as well on here. This is kind of my favorite weapon, as I said, in the game right now. Alongside that, though, is the sniper. Now, I absolutely love snipers. It's pretty much the only secondary I've been using. This one I've got an M700 tactical. I've actually got a classic M44 carbine here, which has got more base damage, but I just don't like the stability as much as I like it with the M700. Although, I'd have to say the M44 is actually my favorite sniper thus far. Now with this one, it's got First Blood, but I don't actually have the requirements unless I've got a scope with 8 times magnification or higher. We're not really going to go with that. And then we've got optimal range, which is good, and we've also got protected deploy as well, as you can see on there. While equipped, this weapon grants plus 10% bonus armor while deploying a skill. And with this one, I don't like the VX1 scope, the 12 times, because I hate that it auto zooms in. So I don't use this. I either use the ACOG or I just use, you know, the sort of general stuff here. I'm not a Cronus. Apologies about that. So gear-wise, let's have a quick look at the gear here. So I just want to mention, and I probably already have, but as you can see, pretty much all of this gear is different. And that's because I've not made a build at this point, but I just wanted to kind of show you what you can expect at this sort of gear score level. So, as you can see, we got crit chance, cooldown reduction. This has got 20% skill duration. I've got a die slot on here as well. And if you didn't know, you can actually get die slots from the crates in the world. The orange crates that are hanging from trees and all that sort of stuff, they guarantee a die slot. So that's how you get those. And as you can see, let's go on to the backpack here. So we've got the Big Horn pack. This has got that plus 5% total armor. It's got health, it's got bonus armor, it's got weapon damage. And we've got On the Ropes as one of the talents. We've also got Vital, which increases your health by 20%. Now, regarding mods for this, I've just put on what I've got, basically. As you can see, I've got this bonus armor mod giving you plus 2,820 armor, critical chance resistance, and ensnare resistance as well. And then with this one, we've got skill power, increased shock duration, increased bleed duration as well on there. So moving on, we've got our gloves here. And this one has got that plus health from the brand set. We've got health, skill, power, and we've got Obliterate. Depleting an enemy's armor grants plus 25% critical hit damage for 5 seconds. That's a pretty strong talent, I believe, although I've not really tested any of these talents at this point. Moving on to the knee pads, and we're using China Light, which actually goes really, really well with the specialist that I'm using, which is the grenade launcher, because you get that extra 10% explosives damage. It's got cooldown reduction, and it's got while in cover, weapon handling is increased by 25%, and that works really well with the sniper rifle. We've also got another mod on here, which has got armor on kill and health regen. We then go over to the holster here, and we've gone with this one simply because it's got the highest amount of sort of base armor. It's got crit damage, critical hit damage, and crit chance. And then lastly, the chest piece, which has got health, headshot damage, bonus armor of over 10,000. And it's also got unstoppable force, which again is I think is a really good talent. Killing an enemy grants 2% weapon damage for every 10,000 maximum armor. So if you look at my character, it's almost got 200,000 armor. So by my calculations, that would give us around 40% weapon damage, I believe. Pistol-wise, we're just using whatever's pretty much the highest gear score here with the snub-nose Deseros. And that's really it. Aside from that, I use the chem launcher here. We're actually using the reinforcer. This thing is unbelievably good for getting your health back. And I've only just started using the turret as well. I was previously using the hive, but I actually really like the turret. It's good for aggro, and it does quite a bit of damage as well. And that's really it, guys. That's the build at the moment, or the actual what I've got going on. And that's what you can expect at 450. I'm going to keep grinding. I believe it goes quite a bit higher than that. So, yeah, once I've got an update, I'll let you know. Thanks very much for all your support. And until the next one, Epic out.